Hiya and welcome to another Same But Different Christmas card series for 2019, and today we're going to be turning about. Hi, it's Therese and Lostinpaper and welcome back. I'm having such a blast making these Christmas cards this year. I hope you're having fun too. I have the Holly Berry Turnabout from Concord 9th, and this is an awesome stamp set. It's massive. It actually has two turnabouts within it, so it comes with two of the alignment tools, and you can actually use just the berries, just the leaves, or you can combine them both and make a massive full-on background, and today I'm going to be doing all of the above. So I'm going to start out by doing the stamping of my backgrounds. I'm going to create 4 in total. I've got my jig in place, it's in my large MISTI, and I've added some removable adhesive to the back of a piece of cardstock, which is cut the same size as my card front, and then I've adhered it onto the markings on the jig. I'm using the alignment tool and placing the coordinating stamp so that this stamped image is facing down on it, and then I'm aligning it up with the crosses on the jig. You can see them, they're actually like a score line almost. And then I can just close my lid of my MISTI, pick up the stamp and remove the alignment aid, and I'm ready to roll. Now I did show you that there's some numbers on the jig, and that just reminds me, because I forget sometimes, to turn the jig, and also where I'm up to. I am using some really pretty inks from Catherine Pooler Designs today, and if you want a full list of all the supplies that I've used, I'll have them linked below in the description, but I'll also have them linked at my blog, and that will be in the description below as well. So this panel here is my full-on panel, I like to call it. It's got everything stamped out. I stamped all 4 leaves in 4 different colours, and the berries I only stamped in 2 different colours, but I did stamp them all 4 times. So this is as much as you're going to get on a piece of cardstock using this turnabout. This one I've done quite differently. I'm only using the berries, and I'm using them like a dotted background. And I did a couple of styles like this, one in the blues and greens and one in the reds. Now the blue-green version I did all 4 turns, and the red version I did just 2. So they look quite different. And after I finish each panel, I just remove the adhesive with a gum eraser and then start on the next panel. So this is my last one, and I decided to use the leaves this time, and I only used 2 colours, so just the blue and the pale blue and the pale green, and I think this one looks really pretty. Now this stamp set also comes with some extra or single stamps, and it has this little berry stamp, so I just filled in some of the gaps on the red berry panel, which worked really well. I've stamped some images out from an MFT set which is called Merry Moments, and just doing some really simple Copic colouring here. They're not particularly big images. I did decide to colour one of my bears blue-green. I think he might be a bit cold. But otherwise I did colour them grey, and I just kept it to the blue-greens and the reds here. So like I was saying, this is part of my series that I do every year in the Same But Different, so you get lots of cards along the same theme or using the same product. I'll link a couple of previous years of this series at the end of the blog, so if you haven't already visited and seen them, I'd love it if you'd visit and see some more of the Same But Different cards. And especially if you're looking to do some Christmas cards and using what you've got rather than heading out and buying a whole new lot of stuff, sometimes just being able to use one product and getting a lot of different ideas for one style or one theme, or using stamps in a different way. I use older and newer stamps. I basically use what I have. I did get a few stamps and dies last year because all of my Christmas ones were quite old, and I'm having a lot of fun using them this year because I didn't get to use them enough last year. I thought. And the good thing about Christmas stamps is they don't go off. Christmas comes every year, so you can use them every year. I did use the coordinating dies here to cut out these images, and now I'm going to put all my cards together. So I've got the hem stitch. This is from Spellbinders, and it's the rectangles, and I'm making a border here. It's actually got 8 different dies in the set, so I'm using 3 of the dies at once to create a panel that I'm going to pop up on the front of the card. I'm making a big mess here, so I did actually edit that out. But those tools that clear out the die cuts work really well, FYI. So I like to actually adhere my inset before I pop up the edge of my inlay die cut, because I can never get it straight otherwise. And this sentiment here is a Concord 9th one, and I really like that it looks like a typeset or, you know, a Dymo. And I basically just cut that out with a pair of scissors, and I'm popping it up in the center of my card with some foam dots, as well as my little Santa. I love the way he's just looking up. He must get a crick in his neck. So my next card is the pale blue and pale green panel, and I thought it'd be good to have another bold sentiment. I'm going for really bold sentiments today, so it's reverse confetti fat pants sentiment. It's really quite funny. I like this. This whole set of sentiments is really quite funny. And I wanted to make my own speech bubble, so I partially cut around it with an oval die, and then just hand drew the rest and cut that out with scissors. And then all I had to do was pop up my frozen bear and my handmade speech bubble on top of my panel, and this card's done. I think this was my favourite. I do like this bear. So my next card design, I'm using one of the landscape dies from Alan Hudson, and just cut a little snowbank. And I'm also doing another speech bubble sentiment. I'm on a roll at the moment. I'm really loving speech bubbles. And this is a lawn fawn one. And I've heat embossed a sentiment from MFT, which is a really nice set called Hand-Lettered Holiday Greetings, and really scripty, beautiful sentiments. And I've just added those pieces to the front of my card and popped up my bear and my snow hill and sentiment. So my next panel, I misaligned my square die cut, so I had to flip it round. I did want the dark bit at the top, but anyway, you get what you get. And I did use one of the square hem stitch dies to cut my little window out, and I added a no peeking speech bubble. I thought that was really cool. And what to do with that square? Here was my dilemma. So I've got a card front, I'm adding a sentiment, and I added a hem stitch die cut border within it. Popped it up on the front of the card and added a simple scripty joy sentiment from Penny Black. And that's probably the most clean and simple card from today. So thanks for joining me. If you haven't already, I'd love it if you click on the thumbs up button. That means that I know that you like this video and you want to see more of them. And if you haven't, I'd love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you back here again real soon. Lots of Christmas fun happening this month, lots of inspiration, and I look forward to seeing you again. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.